The refreshing morning breeze touched his body as Aditya stood on the balcony of his luxurious modern flat on the 13th floor of the most prestigious building in high-class society. After spending a restless night, he woke up early and stepped outside, calling his maid Radha to bring him a black coffee. He usually takes bed tea at around 7:30, but today he is up at 5:30 and wants coffee. Radha muttered to herself, "These rich people have such a strange way of living. I wonder why they have never seemed to find peace despite having everything." Aditya hadn't slept well and his eyes were heavy with sleep, but as soon as he lay down, thoughts of his business and the recent conversations with his ex-wife, Rosie, echoed in his mind, making him restless. He had built his business empire with immense hard work. From a middle-class boy to a business tycoon, he felt proud of his journey. But a question pricked his mind: what price he had paid to build and maintain this empire? How could he forget that? Life was blissful when he had just married Rosie. He would work all day and bring sweets and a garland of jasmine flowers for her every evening. But as time passed, Rosie's desires grew. She no longer wanted flower garlands, but carved diamond necklaces. She could not accept their son studying in a government school. One day, she said, "Adi, why don't I take up a job? We will have more money and our lifestyle will improve." "What's lacking in our life, darling? We are doing fine," Aditya would reply. But Rosie was never satisfied. Gradually, Rosie's words became sharper. She called Aditya a frog in a well, and despite his objections, became a personal assistant to a director in a private company. Aditya's patience wore thin as he saw his once simple wife dressed in a flashy clothes and heavy makeup. He wasn't naive. He knew why she came home late and why she was so eager to risk everything for a few extra bucks. It suffocated him. Despite his pleas, Rosie didn't stop, and one day she left Aditya and their young son forever. After Rosie left, Aditya struggled to find peace. Raising his son alone and battling loneliness pushed him towards the very vices Rosie had dispraised. At his job, he could have taken bribes to earn money, but his values had held him back. Now, driven by the desires to prove Rosie wrong, he plunged into corruption. Money began to pile up, and soon he ventured into real estate. Success followed him everywhere. His small house turned into a mansion. Then flats, plots, and lands became part of his empire. His son was sent to a boarding school in Mussoorie, and Aditya became a money-making machine. Luxury cars lined his driveway, and he owned farmhouses where he spent his days. A fleet of servants attended to his every need. He had fame, wealth, name, and status, but no peace. Despite having everything, Aditya was lonely. He didn't call Rosie, not because she wouldn't come, but because his pride was hurt. She had broken his heart, and he could not forgive her. Radha brought the coffee, pulling Aditya out of his thoughts. He sipped it, but found no taste. His mind was still restless. He went to his room, played his favorite ghazal on his tablet, hoping for some solace, but none came. His heart felt empty. After a warm shower and a hearty breakfast, he still felt uneasy. He called his driver Vicky. "Let's go to Mussoorie," he ordered. "Now, sir, is everything okay? Is the younger master all right?" Vicky asked, surprised. "Everything is fine, just in the mood," Aditya replied. Soon the car was speeding through the winding roads. The cool breeze and light drizzle outside brought him some relief. They stopped at a small tea stall. Vicky was shocked. "Sir, you will have tea here? You are used to 5-star hotels and baristas. What joy will you find here?" But the boss's order was final. The aroma of ginger, cardamom, and cloves filled the air, reminding Aditya of his old days. The stall owner had an FM radio playing, "O mere dil ke चैन, चैन आए मेरे दिल को दुआ कीजिए." Aditya felt as if the song echoed his heart's longing. He felt lighter. Just then, a group of poor laborers, their wives, and children approached the stall. The children stared longingly at the samosas and kachoris being fried. Aditya handed the stall owner a 500 rupee note. "Feed them all." Give them whatever they want. Samosas, sweets, tea, milk. The group was stunned, but Aditya smiled. Eat to your heart's content. If you need more, I will pay. As they ate and laughed, Aditya remembered his childhood. Despite their poverty, his family of 6 siblings lived in harmony. There was so much peace and joy in those days. Watching them, Aditya felt a sense of fulfillment he hadn't known in years. He had earned so much, built cars and bungalows, and enjoyed every luxury, but peace had eluded him. Today, this small act of kindness brought him immense joy. Does feeding others feel so good? Does sharing with those who don't get enough to eat bring such peace? Aditya wondered. He had been unaware of this feeling until now, but it made him so light-hearted that he felt truly happy. He called Vicky. Let's move. I feel great now. Vicky was puzzled. He was so irritable earlier, and now he is so happy. What treasure did he find? Aditya hummed. मुसाफिर हूँ यारों, ना घर है ना ठिकाना, मुझे बस चलते जाना, बस चलते जाना. Vicky smiled. We haven't met Chintu yet, and he is already so happy. Who can understand this rich people's mood? The car speed through the winding roads, and Aditya's face radiated peace. Today, he had learned a new way to live.